going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping in. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button right now and hit the bell as well. Good stuff happening. Today is no exception. Trying to get 1,000 subscribers by June. Help me get there. Know you want to be part of it. We got a package in today, like I said in the last video. Let's go take a look at it now. Oh, there's boxes inside boxes. We'll be back. They have arrived. Only need to open one because they're both the same. The resonators are here. Oh, thank goodness. Off Amazon, link in the description. Not a name brand per se, but look at the quality of these things. The welds are really nice. Nice and even finish. I think they should do the trick, but if nothing else, what I got them for was because the diameter is 2 1/4 inch. So this is going to line up perfectly. By line up, what I mean obviously is that all of the pipe diameters will match now. Finally, these cars are weird. The stock Y pipe goes to a collector that's like 2 1/2 inches or just under 2 1/2 inches, and then that gets narrowed down to 2 1/4 inches as it goes to the resonator, and then everything from the resonator back to the tips in the stock Q50 is like 2 inches or 1.8 inches, something weird like that, so super narrow. So now everything will be 2 1/4 inch. The Y pipe that I welded the flange onto, that has a 3-inch opening, so it matches the 1320 Performance Y pipe, and then it branches off to duals at 2 1/4 inch, and everything will be 2 1/4 inch back. The resonators are 2 1/4 inch. Everything beyond, they're going to do for me at 2 1/4 inch diameter. So everything will be relatively free flowing and matching finally. So we should be good to go. So let's head that direction now.
He told that kid that we done the exhaust on, and the kid showed up here yesterday.
All right, we made it back. The exhaust is done. Inman Muffler Shop did a good job in Inman, South Carolina. Pretty pleased with it. Good guys over there. So if you're in the Greenville, South Carolina area, I would check them out. Great work, very helpful, very friendly, great price. So you can't beat good service and good pricing. It's hard to find. So like I said, if you're in the area, check them out. Thank you very much to those guys for helping me out. I would say that everything looks pretty good. The one thing I do regret is that I didn't change tips, and I think I'm going to end up doing that myself anyway. But the little Y pipe that we fabbed up here in the old garage looks pretty good under there. But let's take a look and let's take a listen. So we got the Y pipe fitted up properly. Lines up excellent. I'm going to change out the gasket again since we have a new one, and tighten down the bolts because the guy at the shop didn't have proper tools. They were in the process of moving to a new shop, and a lot of the tools had been moved to the new location. So I'll tighten all those down, and we can see the new resonators welded in. Beautiful. See, everything is nice new stainless. Another look at the resonators. Very nice. Very nice. The only thing I wish, the only thing I regret, like I said, is that I didn't change out the tips. So we kind of left that a little rough. I'm just going to cut them off at the weld, and I'll install some new tips. Like I said before, those resonators were from Amazon, and they look really, really good. I think they were like $29 each, so relatively inexpensive. The link will be in the description below, but I think this is a case again of rebadging or taking badges off and selling at a discount, basically. If you look at these and you compare them with some of the other resonators, name brand resonators on the market through Jags, Vibrant Performance might be one of them. One brand, sorry about the truck going by. They look almost identical to Vibrant Performance resonators. Weld location, kind of the look of the weld overall, the thickness of the weld, they match up almost identically to those resonators, so but for about half the price. So just do a little research, see what you can find in terms of mufflers and resonators, because like I said, exhaust parts are notorious for rebadging and renaming, but they're all made at the same place. So it could be a case where you save a little bit of money. So enough of the chit chat. Let's hear what it sounds like. We'll do a couple revs, and then maybe we'll do a couple pulls since we got the Dragy set up as well. So let's see what we can do this afternoon. Those runs were awful, clearly, especially compared to my previous runs, doing my 60-foot time at 2.2 something seconds, right? Let me explain. So the first couple of runs, traction control was on, and the car was in standard mode. So trying to get an idea of the difference that sport mode makes with, 0 to 60 or 60-foot times, or even a quarter-mile time eventually. So you could tell even a little bit of spin, but traction control was on, and the standard mode obviously dropped the car way down. Then the second mode, or the third run, traction control had been turned off, which I forgot about, honestly. I turned it off and drove several miles before we got to kind of a closed road, and then put it in sport mode, and we spun like crazy. So obviously that made a huge difference, but even still, even with all that spinning and the tail end actually coming out a little bit to the side, you can't really tell in the video, but the car did get a little sideways. Even with that being the case, still got a better 60-foot time than I did with standard mode. So sport definitely makes a difference. So hopefully when we get out, we actually do some dedicated videos to Dragy and actually getting some real numbers. I'll try out the different modes, the different combinations of traction control, totally taking traction control off, sport mode, standard mode, and the differences that we'll see. But right now we can already tell that sport mode makes a huge difference, going from a 2.28, I think, 60-foot time in sport mode with traction control on, to traction control on in standard mode running around 2.85 or 2.9, something like that. So major difference just with switching the driver select mode. So something to keep in mind. But anyways, we got the car sounding pretty good now, and the exhaust is finished up except for tips. I'm looking for some new exhaust tips. Took my wife on a ride in the car, and she noticed right away. I didn't tell her that I was getting the new resonators put on, or the exhaust finished out, and she said it's a bit louder. You know, whatever. I was hoping it wouldn't be super loud, but we'll find out. Might get some resonated tips. We're gonna test those out. I don't know. The important point now is that all of the pipe matches up. You know, we have a 2 1/4 inch Catback system basically now with some upgraded resonators. So everything sounds good, looks good under there, and it's flowing freely. So we're ready for a tune in just a few weeks. So really excited. Stick around. Like I said, I'm looking for some new tips right now. So we may or may not do a little video on that, but look forward to some more draggy stuff so we can get a good bass line before we go in for a tune, and then we'll do some comparisons after that. So next several weeks or a couple of months should be really good, and we'll start moving into some suspension stuff and chassis stiffening stuff, and we have some drives coming up, so a lot of good stuff. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do right now. I appreciate your support, appreciate you watching very much, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.